I found this online writer's guide, especially for English as a second language. I'm going to start making some videos of it. I would like for you to give me some feedback on it. So I will go through and maybe I'll read it, whatever, it doesn't make any difference. We will make some sense out of this whole thing, okay? So at the Capital Community College, okay, the Capital Community College is in Hartford, Connecticut. Now, this is additional information. If you're not familiar with the American system of community colleges, you should acquaint yourself with this. These are very low-cost colleges where you can go and learn at a very low price. Of course, you have to be in America, but then again, maybe not. I'll investigate this more because they put this online information. So maybe you can get credit for it if you want to get credit. If not, then, you know, if you prefer, you can go to this webpage and do these lessons on your own. But I'm going to try making these videos. I know that you have very little time, and anyhow, it's good for me to do this so that I will have this information to give to other students. Now, coming down here, this online textbook is a basic writing, offers students 3 approaches becoming more confident writers, okay? Part 1 examines how sentences work, giving the student a structural understanding of the language that they use every day. Part 2 focuses on errors that commonly appear in written English, and Part 3 suggests techniques and topics for developing ideas and writing. Okay, and it goes on, students may move back and forth among the parts, of course, if you want to, if you're doing this online. Here we can see pretty well something of the outline of it, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. And, okay, so we'll begin with Part 1, the basic structure of English, okay? We'll go to that page, and there we will begin our study. As you can see, they have an overview of the sentences, verb, subjects, you know, sort of the very same things, okay? And it gives you sort of a description here. Here we have a nice little chart. We can start with this. This is the way that they want to start. And it shows growing a sentence. Okay? And over here, the sentence grows. Okay? Starting from a seed, which is essentially an idea that you want to express. Okay? And it goes on, starting from the seed, sentence grows, sentence that sprout modifiers grow. Then we go down here, sentence grow easily. Sentences grow before your eyes. Sentences grow to develop sturdy shapes. Sentences grow until they seem to gather a momentum of their own. Okay, very, very poetic, but anyhow, we'll bear with it here. Maybe it's fine. Maybe this is what we need to do. You know, if I'm learning Spanish, I would like to learn the basic things that there are to know about Spanish, and maybe this is fine. There are other words that are beginning with the ESL students, most of them who already speak some English, and we're going to learn about sentences. You know, they're essentially the sentence is about the same structure as in Spanish, but there are certain idiosyncrasies. There are certain requirements, okay? Sentences grow branches, okay? Sentences grow new branches. Sentences grow branches of words. The sentences grow branches unfolding fresh ideas. Sentences grow branches that may blossom with unexpected possibilities. Starting from a seed, these sentences that sprout, modify, grow easily before your eyes until they seem to gather a momentum of their own. To develop a steady shape, sentences grow new branches of words, unfolding fresh ideas that may blossom with unexpected possibilities. Okay. In the sentences below, look at the words in this color. Okay, this color right here. What do all these words have in common? Now look at the word at the words in this color. What do they have in common with each other? Here we have sentence, love, someone, Kandisha, or Kernisha, I guess, Kernisha, okay, and they. And what do the purple ones have in common? Grow, deceives, in painting, must have forgotten, were hiding. Okay, we're going to go into that on chapter 2, about what these are. What, if you are trying to think about what they are, these are subject words, and these in the purple are verb words, okay? So we look at the sentences below. What do these words have in common? Sometimes, love, someone, Kanisha, I guess that's Kanisha, and they, and here we have grow, deceives, is painting, must have forgotten in doing. Now we have went through that above, but they've added something on here. They branches, people, graffiti, Donnell, and anything. What do they have in common? Even with the phonetic or poetic aspect of this, sometimes a third part may join the subject verb to leave complete ideas, and they're called completers. Okay, that's what they're going to. In chapter 4 we'll cover that. Okay, in the sentence below, notice how the subject verbs and completers grow in meaning when descriptive words or group words are added. These sentences grow branches. Love sometimes deceives people. Someone is painting fresh graffiti. Kanisha must have forgotten Donnell since the summer. Okay. Were they hiding anything of value? Okay, these new words in italics, up here these italics, this is called italics with a different form of letter. These italics, when a phrase is involved, are modifiers. Some modifiers are single words, but are groups of words. Okay, we'll cover this in chapter 4, showing how modifiers work. Okay, then we have down here the part called application, and we come up with this little screen. We'll pick it up here, and it says to finish each of the following sentences. We're going to try to apply the knowledge, and maybe for many of you, all this is very stupid and simple, but let's begin at the beginning. Okay? Okay, finish each of the following sentences. Okay, so when you click on suggested answer buttons, you compare what you have put on, and is it proper, or is whatever. Any word come in here. What will you say? Cracks, jokes at unexpected moments. Okay, what goes in here? What do you have to have in the first part of any sentence? What is missing here is a subject. Who cracks jokes? Okay, So possible answer is Josephine cracks jokes at unexpected moments, okay? Then you go down to at the bank this morning, had everyone in stitches. What are we looking for? A subject, put whatever you want in there. Bob, Dawn, whatever. But a possible answer is she. That's a pronoun. So at the bank this morning, she had everyone in stitches. Then we go down to the next one. You say, relaxed and laughed at that one. What goes in there? Subject. Aunt Zinny. Even Aunt Zinny relaxed and laughed at that one. Okay, then we go down to number 4. We'll keep you from taking yourself too seriously. Okay, what are we looking for? Okay, subject. Oh, okay, laughter will keep you from taking, and laughter is the subject in this case. So what are we doing here? In sentence 5 to 8, add one word in each space. The word you added will be a verb. Okay, let's do that. What kind of verb you want to put here? Tell me. Just put it in there, or just make it up, or just do it. Martha's file shots. Okay. Not very good today. What goes in there? A possible answer? Were. Martha's foul shots were not very good today. Okay, we come down to this one. Her posture, a lot of work too. Okay, what could be put there? You know? Possible answer? Needs. No, that's another verb. Her posture needs a lot of work too. Then we go down to number 7, the coach, blank. What? Some extra time with her last night. Well, the coach, okay, I'll put it in there, let's try. Spent some extra time with her last night. Possible answer? Oh, well, it's very logical, right? So you just have to put it in there to complete it. Okay, then we go down to he, blank, her a fancy new trick. What? It's a possible answer there. What do you do? You know, he taught her a fancy new trick. Possible answer? There you go. Aren't I clever? Go down to a place here, it says 9 to 12. They want what they call a completer. Something that will complete this sentence so it makes sense, okay? You should see, we're looking for a completer. What kind of completer could we put here? Possible answer? Provincetown. You could see Provincetown. Well, that's in New Hampshire, okay? So anyhow, possible answer there is complete that sentence because, it doesn't make any sense. You should see, well, we need an object. We need something to see. And so, you can see, you should see the dog. You should see Mary. We need something to complete that. Okay, after all, it is, well, fine, but we need something to answer that. After all, it is stupid. After all, it is pretty. Possible answers? Oh, unique. After all, it is unique. Then we go down to, would you prefer blank for dinner? Well, would you prefer chicken for dinner? Would you prefer steak for dinner? Would you prefer a friend for dinner? That's a possible answer. What's here? It says, a steak for dinner, right? Okay, so they are nouns. They are the object of the verb. Then we go down, Eric and I had very good blank at the new restaurant last week. Well, what do you have at a restaurant? We had a very good meal. We had a very good drink. Those are possible answers. What do they say? Shrimp. Eric and I had very good shrimp. Okay. Very good. You're doing good, people. I tell you, you got me all flustered. Now we go to sentences 13 to 16. We add a word or a group of words in the space to finish the sentence. Okay, we're going to finish this off, right? So it all makes good sense and it's good writing. Each word or group of words you add will be a modifier, or will finish a modifier. Okay. Already started for you. Okay, here we go. You are painting that wall very... What goes in there? What can you do? Very well? Very... Yeah, let's see what we have as a possible answer. Carelessly. Now, we'll get into that. You know that that's an adverb and it modifies the verb. Okay, you are painting carelessly. Okay, it modifies the verb painting. Okay, we go back here. Do you always paint with? Well, we're going to put something in here. Okay, do you always paint? Well, maybe we want a modifier for that. Okay, always paint with care, possible. I don't know, or with a brush. We'll see what's possible. Such a big paintbrush. Okay, so do you always paint with such a big paintbrush? Then we go down here. The color over the sink is an improvement. Well, what's a possible answer? I don't know. The blue color over the sink, the spotted color over the... I don't know. We'll put something in here. We got to modify what? Color. Okay, so we're going to modify that with an adjective, right? So they have lilac color, okay? And lilac is a color, okay? We're modified as color. We're named it, okay? Fine. Then we come to the last one. I bought some paint last week for the kitchen. What is the possible answer there? Well, you know, I bought some black paint last week for the kitchen. I bought white paint for the kitchen. You know, we're going to modify this word here. We bought liquid paint for the car. Okay, let's see a possible answer there. Washable paint, and that's an adjective, modifies this here. Okay? So, this is the first part. If you got any good comments, let me know, and we'll continue on. It will become more difficult and more interesting as we go along, but we need to begin at the beginning.